Hello everyone to another video. Today I'll be showcasing Hailey on her gun build. So, these are the mods I use. Pretty basic. The only thing that actually matters on Hailey is survivability, cooldown, skill cost. Everything else is changeable. You can have a shield build, you can have a health build. If you go with health build, you have more breathability with her build, because if you're using shield, you'd have to switch shot focus, safe recovery, accelerated drive shaft to more shield focused mods. Shield can be good because you can get that number pretty high, but same with health. So we'll have to see with the Paragon board if what would actually be fitting, but I think HP will be the best. Definitely, because with HP as well, you could run MP collector, HP collector, whichever one you think is needed more. I personally go with this currently. There's a lot of stuff I would potentially change. I've kind of been having a fallout with drive shaft, so I would probably change that now to something like MP collector. Now the only reason I say MP collector, for mobbing specifically, like erosion, because when you're spamming her Q, it will drain your MP like crazy. You will run out of MP very fast in a mission. And then HP collector can also be good. Mainly for hard content like erosion, because you will be getting shot at, even when freezing stuff currently. In group fights though, less important. But yeah, it's just HP cooldown. So, next thing is reactor. I've gone with just an electric because reactor does not matter. It's just because of the substats I have on this one, what skill cost and skill cooldown. And then our components, if you want to go max HP and MP on all of these. So we've got max HP here, MP recovery, max MP recovery in combat, MP recovery modifier, defense, max shield, toxin resistance, but you can run whatever in that toxin resistance slot. You can run shield recovery modifier or even equipment drop rate. I like running that on a lot. The components itself, I'm only using Polar because I've got a chill based weapon. Polar is good for that. But otherwise, I would preferably run the highest max HP main stat you can combo. So it doesn't matter if you break sets, run double 2 sets or no set. You just want that max HP as high as it can get. If you are going to run 2 sets, just look into the set bonuses. Like duration is not really going to be that important. I personally have not found much good 2-set bonuses for Hailey. Maybe if some meta changes where assault rifle or submachine gun, you could run 2-piece distorted for that. And then obviously the auxiliary has 646 HP and the processor has 646. So you use 2 combo like that. There is a lot of ways you can make Hailey and change the components, but the only thing that truly matter is the substats and the main stat. And other than that, we'll have a look at some weapons. So this is my Albion. It's the main thing I use with her right now. I don't really use her that much for bossing, but I would depending on how guns change. But her entire module and components will work on every gun pretty much. So I've got a bit lazy here. So that rounds per mag you see, you want to change that to firearm attack, I'll just say that. And then the cores are all correct. You just want to get them to yellow if you can. And then here are the modules. It's just what I managed to make up. There could potentially be higher damage, but this just works perfectly for me for how I want it to. The other one you can currently use is Last Dagger. So these are what you want on it. You change the electrical at the top depending on what element you are. I know that's expensive to do, but next season you'll be able to craft multiple of a gun without having to do it 5 times for each gun. Now modules, if you're doing a weak point, like you're going to use it on a boss, do this, but because we're using Hailey now, you're going to want Firing Fiesta. You put this in the mental focus and then everything else should work. Change the elements based on what you want, and then non-weak point, do the same. I want to change this because I do not plan to aim for heads at all. Weak point's still good with this gun, because if we have a look real quick, this gun always has a high weak point. So like, yes, you aren't hitting weak points because maybe it's too small, but you should be aiming in a general area anyway for some extra damage when you're doing non-weak point. Though if it's making you miss more, then obviously don't. Overwhelm is a dependent mod as well. Sometimes it'll work. It's I haven't fully figured out what it's meant. If it's to do with the Pierce thing you see on the gun, that little symbol, this Pierce 10%. I'm pretty sure that is what it means. So if you aren't hitting the right one, then it's not going to work. Um, you can just change that to anything really. More weak point or more damage. Just something. It doesn't really matter. Like, whatever you can find that gives you the highest damage on it, but I'm going to use that in the meantime because I'm just lazy. But personally, I use the weak point one anyway.